Hey, hey, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and shalom to everyone else out there. I'm gonna do this one, and this is gonna be a quick one, but I really want to touch on something I think is really important that's unspoken in our culture right now. And it's procrastination, and I think the biggest procrastinators, honestly, and this is real talk, people getting their feelings, so be it. I think young men are the biggest procrastinators in the world. Western, in particular, Western American men are the biggest procrastinators in the world. Period. Period. And I don't think it's always been that way. I think we just have a culture now of just that relishes laziness. I mean, everybody wants to be the go getter and the hot shot and all that stuff. They want all that, but they don't realize that for some people they're just born into wealth and they're born into privilege, so they don't have to really work for those things, and it's already handed to them. Or if they have to attain those things, they already have a head start ahead of their competition. But for most of us that grow up working class or lower middle class, we don't have the same opportunities. And I think a lot of us kind of don't realize how hard it is to attain those things in this capitalist society. And we kind of have a lot of distractions right now more than ever. You have pornography, which does various degrees of things of like stunning your testosterone and releasing dopamine, and which gives you a reward system for basically the sexual gratification of finding a mate, which is a biological thing. And you get that gratification for essentially nothing, right? And I think that kind of really doles a lot of guys out there from having that extra push to, strive for something in life. You know what I mean? Whether it's quote unquote finding a partner, accelerating at their job, you know what I mean, or something like that. Their hobbies, like actual productive hobbies, it stunts a lot of that motivation to do those things. That's my personal opinion. Some of it is backed up by science. One of these days I'll do a stream and basically show you evidence that, things like that, like pornography, can actually help stunt a lot of motivation in young men in particular. Second thing is, hobbies that, I mentioned hobbies that are productive. You have to have a hobby that is productive. Going to the gym, that's a productive hobby, right? Because it keeping yourself in shape is an important thing that a lot of people are starting to sideline now. Now everybody is all about quote body positivity, but a lot of that body positivity, in my opinion, is a bunch of BS. It's just basically it came out of they looked at the obesity crisis, and basically to justify the obesity crisis, because nobody really wanted to put in the work to better themselves physically, they said, "Oh, just be happy in the skin that you're in." Granted, everybody should be happy in their skin they're in, but if you're moderately obese, you are not healthy. And it could be even something else, such as like you smoke cigarettes, you do drugs and stuff like that, you are not healthy. quit lying to yourself. You're not healthy. And if you're happy that way, so be it. But you are statistically have more of a chance of dying and getting all kinds of diseases from doing that. It's no different than if you're like, hey, we have sex positivity, right? Yeah, it's cool, I guess, to go out there and have sex, right, and do all that kind of stuff. But if you're not using protection, or if you're not putting yourself in sexual situations that are quote unquote safe, and that could be from don't have sex with some creepy ass motherfuckers, or excuse my language, excuse my French, but I mean, it is what it is. Creepy people, people that want to, hey, nice there, what's up? Creepy people that want to, like a guy that's like a freaking serial killer or something like that, or you're having sex with some girl that's gonna, pull a Cardi B on you and drug you and do all kinds of stuff. Like, hey, that's not sex positivity. That's not a situation you should be yourself in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just, and I understand how hard it is, man. Cause I'm not going to be a hypocrite, bro. I had problems with substance abuse. I've had problems with my body and stuff like that, man. I was drinking like a 6-pack every day for like 2 years, man, for 2 years straight. And this doesn't include drinking before that, but I was like getting drunk every single day. I had a huge beer belly that honestly, that beer belly took over a year to get rid of. Imagine drinking that so much that where you're working out twice a day and you still can't get rid of that beer belly. I was sluggish, and I had really bad acid reflux, and I already have sleep apnea, so it affected my sleep. So I was getting like maybe about 2-3 hours of sleep. I was eating like crap too and all that stuff, man. You have to be accountable for what you do to yourself. You know what I mean? Because the world is chaotic. We all get that, right? You have no control over what the government's going to do. I mean, maybe if you vote, but at the same time, you have freaking no idea what the government's going to do. You have no idea what your neighbor's going to do. You have no idea what the next man next to you is going to do, right? You only have control over your life. So you have to have accountability for that. The third thing is that I want to go over is, where does procrastination come from, right? And I'm not going to get all crazy with religion and spirituality, right? I think what's it called? Procrastination, the root of it is people that don't have anything to lose, or they feel like they don't have anything to lose, naturally put themselves in that state. The average American, right? The average American, right? And we do have a lot of people below the poverty line, but the American poverty standard is different than a third world poverty standard. Let's keep it a buck. You still have access to a decent hospital to go to, even if you don't have healthcare. You still have an option of possibly, getting at least a dead end job, at the very least, if you're really looking for something like that. We do have for the most part, if you're in certain situations, there is an available network of social safety nets that you can have. Now, we do have a huge homeless problem. Don't get me wrong. My heart goes out to anybody homeless. I've been there. I was homeless for a month. I've been on the street. I know exactly what it's like. You know what I'm saying? And I know exactly what got me there too at the same time. I'm freaking live in California, the Bay Area, bro. It is disgusting. It is freaking disgusting what I see out on the street every day. There's trash in the streets, people sleeping on the sidewalk and stuff. And so we could do a lot better and alleviate these problems. And we have to do that by having a sense of accountability. So yeah, man, I look at my life, and this goes out to especially, like, it doesn't matter what age you are, but especially young people, bro. You are so blessed and to live in right now. I know there are so many obstacles you have economically. There's so many obstacles you have maybe socially because, in the age of social media, everybody puts on this front and they think it's so easy to make friends and get connections and stuff like that. I understand that. I was your age when social media first started coming out, and I had to learn how to adapt to it, right? It's really hard to make authentic human connections, but you guys are so blessed with youth. Youth is a blessing. Every single old person right now, whether it be from somebody that's older than 25 on to, freaking the oldest a human being can get, like 110. I think it's like the oldest that, in recent history that somebody's been recorded as being old, right? They would trade a limb. They would trade their health to be young again, to be where you are right now, because of all the wisdom that they gathered through hardship, experiences, triumphs, and failures. You have an opportunity to learn from us. That's why I hope this channel can be. Like, I'm 32 right now. Take this opportunity to learn from one. I'm not here to boost my ego. I'm not here to help anybody. I help myself by helping y'all, man, because real talk, you guys are the next generation, especially young black men, bro. Like, every generation, I think, of black men has really not done a good job of handing something off, handing the torch to the next generation. We've handed you a crappy political system. We've handed you off a fractured society. We've handed you off a fractured community, right? And nobody wants to take that into account. So real talk, like, I'm here and I'm doing this because I wish I had a cat like me that I could relate to, a thinking black man, especially, you know what I'm saying? More on the nerdy side, you know what I'm saying? Real talk, tell me, right, the things I'm, telling you, because my pops, man, honestly, besides a few things musically, me and my pops, we're completely different people. Me and my dad are completely different people. We have different modes of communication. We have different ideas, philosophies, things like that. And when he was trying to tell me things, I wasn't even listening. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't listening because I was so hard-headed because he was just so different than me. You know what I mean? But I wish I had somebody that can kind of communicate it like me, to kind of break things down, man, because, it's really hard to respect your elders when you feel like your elders don't respect you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big thing where it's like, oh, you youngsters don't know this, you youngsters don't know that. Granted, yeah, young people are ignorant. They're ignorant. They're not stupid. They're ignorant because they haven't experienced certain things in life. They haven't been knowledgeable, whatever. But some of you old folks, man, real talk, man, this is no diss to y'all, but I have to keep it a buck. A lot of y'all have a really bad thing with handing off knowledge to young people because you come from a place of arrogance. You don't come from a place of humility. You should be humbled by the experiences that you've had, because they'll use that as an example and they'll be able to spread that knowledge to everybody else, man. So I call this Procrastination Nation. Young men, especially, are the biggest procrastinators in our society. We need to do better. And you can always start the very moment you get inspired by something, act on it. Don't let it pass you by, man, because you're going to end up getting caught up in these nasts or these desires. You're going to get, oh, I can go on Pornhub and do this and do that. Oh, I could drink this beer, smoke this joint, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, oh, I could go just hang out with my friends and just play video games all day and not amount to anything. Real talk, bro. You can do so much in your life, man. This life is a blessing. And for all we know, this is the only one you're going to get. And all the people that you look up to, all the idols, all the people that are hot shots, they got this and got that, celebrities, actors, musicians, and stuff like that. Some of them were born in places of privilege. They didn't have to work as hard to get there. But there are a significant amount of people that came from nothing, and they busted their asses. They suffered hunger, poverty, and everything like that to get to where they are right now. And instead of admiring where they are right now, admire where they came from and how that bettered them and pushed them in the right direction. You know what I mean? And I'm not sitting up here. I got my flaws too. And honestly, I real talk. It took me until I was in my early 30s to get my life together, bro. Real talk. And I had to burn a lot of bridges. I had to lose a lot of friends in order to push myself in the right direction. Because yes, I did have some positive people around me, but a lot of people, how I met them and how I got connected with them was me and my lesser self. So when I did make steps to better myself, I noticed I alienated a lot of them. Me being my worst self was entertaining, was very fun. But when you get serious about life, you're going to find out who your friends really are. So real talk, this is just, this is Zach and Dadunya yet again. I wanted to approach this from a secular point of view because, I don't want to alienate anybody out there from where my spiritual standing is or whatnot. But I think we all have something in common in this greater family of humanity where we can learn from each other, regardless of what philosophy, spiritual religion we come from. I'm going to come from a place where I feel like I can find common ground amongst y'all. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be a quick, short, sweet video. I didn't want to go on ranting because I'm going to jump on to Max Taggart. Please like and subscribe to his channel, especially if you're a sports guy. A dude out in New York, man, he's helped motivate me and inspire me to get on this platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Deuces.